First contact, humans joined the Galactic Academy. The gleaming spires of the Galactic Concordat Academy pierced the lavender sky of Nexus Prime, a testament to the united achievements of 1,000 alien races. Today, those achievements were about to be challenged in ways no one could have predicted. Amelia Chen stood at the base of the Academy's main entrance, her dark eyes wide with wonder and determination. Behind her, fellow humans, Marcus Okonkwo and Dia Potail, gazed up at the impossible architecture, a mix of excitement and trepidation on their faces. They were the first humans ever to set foot on this world, chosen as representatives of Earth in this grand experiment of galactic cooperation. Well, Marcus said, his deep voice tinged with amusement, I guess this is what they meant by higher education. Delia rolled her eyes, but a smile tugged at her lips. Seriously, we're out to make history and you're making dad jokes. Amelia chuckled, grateful for the moment of levity. The weight of their responsibility was immense, but they were determined to prove that humanity deserved its place among the stars. As they approached the entrance, a shimmering field of energy rippled before them. A melodious voice echoed in their minds. Welcome, Terran delegates. Please state your designations and purpose. Amelia stepped forward, her voice steady. I am Amelia Chen, accompanied by Marcus Okonkwo and Dia Potail. We are the human representatives selected to join the Galactic Concordat Academy. There was a pause, and then the energy field dissipated. Acknowledged. Please proceed to the orientation chamber. The interior of the academy was a marvel of organic technology and impossible physics. Corridors shifted and realigned themselves as they walked, guiding them effortlessly to their destination. Along the way, they passed beings of every conceivable shape and form. Some floated on clouds of light, others slithered on multiple appendages, and still others seemed to phase in and out of reality itself. I feel like I'm in a fever dream, Delia whispered, her eyes darting from one alien form to another. Marcus nodded, his usual joviality subdued by awe. Makes you wonder what they think of us, doesn't it? They soon found out. As they entered the orientation chamber, a hush fell over the assembled aliens. Hundreds of eyes, sensory organs, and other unfathomable means of perception focused on the three humans. A being that resembled a sentient aurora borealis floated to the center of the room. When it spoke, its voice was a symphony of harmonics that somehow translated perfectly in their minds. Esteemed delegates of the Galactic Concordat, we gather today to welcome our newest members, representatives of the species known as humans from the planet designated as Earth. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Amelia caught fragments of thought and emotion, curiosity, skepticism, and was that fear. The aurora being continued. As many of you are aware, Earth has been classified as a death world, a planet so inhospitable that it defies our understanding of sapient evolution. And yet, these beings before we'd have not only survived, but thrived in conditions that would annihilate most of us. The murmurs grew louder. Amelia exchanged glances with her companions. They had been briefed on Earth's classification, but hearing it stated so bluntly was unsettling. A new voice cut through the noise, sharp and challenging. How do we know they're not a threat? Anything that evolves on a death world must be savage and violent. The speaker was a being that looked like a cross between a praying mantis and a crystal formation. Its faceted eyes gleamed with suspicion. Before the Aurora being could respond, Marcus stepped forward. His voice was calm, but there was steel beneath the surface. With all due respect, evolution on a challenging world doesn't make us savages. It makes us survivors. We're here to learn, to share, and to be part of something greater than ourselves. Dia added, her tone diplomatic but firm. Our history, like many of yours I'm sure, has its dark chapters. But we've also created art that can move one to tears, music that can touch the soul, and scientific achievements that have taken us from caves to the stars. Amelia nodded, feeling a surge of pride in her companions and her species. We may be shaped by our world, but we're defined by our choices. We choose to be here, to reach out in friendship and cooperation. The chamber fell silent, the aliens seemingly taken aback by the eloquence and conviction of the humans. The Aurora being's colors shifted in what might have been approval. "Well spoken, representatives of Earth. Your wisdom belies the youth of your species in galactic terms." It turned to address the assembly. "Let this be a lesson to us all. We must not judge based on preconceptions, but on actions and character." The crystalline being that had challenged them earlier approached, its movements cautious, but no longer hostile. "I apologize for my outburst. Perhaps I, too, have something to learn about making assumptions." Amelia extended her hand, a smile on her face. "No apology necessary. Learning about each other is why you're all here, isn't it?" After a moment's hesitation, the alien extended a crystalline appendage. As they touched, a spark of understanding seemed to pass between them. The orientation continued, with the humans being introduced to the myriad species that made up the student body and faculty of the academy. They learned of races that lived in the hearts of stars, beings composed purely of energy, and civilizations that spanned multiple dimensions. As the day drew to a close, Amelia, Marcus, and Dia found themselves in their assigned quarters, a space that seemed to adapt to their physiological needs, even as they watched. "Well," Marcus said, collapsing onto a bed that seemed to mold itself to his body, "that was one hell of a first day." Dia nodded, her eyes still wide with wonder. "And to think, this is just the beginning. Tomorrow, our real challenges start." Amelia looked out the window at the alien landscape, the twin moons of Nexus Prime rising over the horizon. "We've got a lot to prove, not just to them, but to ourselves. But you know what? I think we're up for it." As they settled in for their first night on an alien world, none of them could have imagined the trials and triumphs that awaited them. The humans had taken their first steps into a larger universe, and nothing would ever be the same again. The physical assessment, unexpected challenges. The first rays of Nexus Prime's blue sun were just peeking over the horizon when Amelia, Marcus, and Dia made their way to the Academy's Physical Assessment Center. The structure before them seemed to defy physics, its walls shimmering and shifting like a mirage. "Well, this looks interesting," Marcus commented, eyeing the building warily. Dia nodded, her expression a mix of excitement and apprehension. "I wonder what kind of tests they have planned for us. Our briefings were pretty vague on the details." As they approached the entrance, a holographic interface materialized before them. A melodious voice emanated from it. "Welcome, Terran delegates. Today's assessment will evaluate your physical capabilities across a range of environments and scenarios. Please be advised that while safety protocols are in place, you may experience discomfort. Do you consent to proceed?" The three humans exchanged glances before Amelia spoke for the group. "We consent. We're ready for whatever you've got." The hologram flickered. "Acknowledged. Please enter and prepare for your first trial." As they stepped inside, the interior of the building seemed to melt away, replaced by a vast, barren landscape. The ground beneath their feet was rough and uneven, and the air was thin and cold. A disembodied voice announced, "Trial 1, Extreme Environment Endurance. You will navigate this terrain for the equivalent of 10 of your Earth kilometers. Environmental conditions will fluctuate. Begin." Without warning, the temperature plummeted. Frost began to fall on their eyelashes, and their breath came out in visible puffs. "Well," Marcus said, his teeth chattering, "I guess this is what they meant by fluctuating conditions. Let's move, people. It's too cold to stand still." They set off across the alien landscape, their bodies quickly adjusting to the cold. But just as they were getting used to it, the environment shifted dramatically. The icy terrain melted away, replaced by a scorching desert. The temperature soared, and the air became thick and oppressive. Delia wiped sweat from her brow, from freezing to frying in 0 seconds flat. "Reminds me of home in India during monsoon season." Amelia nodded, her face glistening with perspiration. "At least the weather's consistent in its inconsistency. Keep moving, we're making good progress." As they trudged on, the environment continued to shift. They waded through knee-deep mud, scaled sheer cliffs, and at one point even had to swim across a suddenly manifested ocean. Throughout it all, unseen observers watched in growing astonishment. The humans were not just surviving these extreme conditions. They were adapting, strategizing, and even occasionally joking amongst themselves. "Impossible," muttered Thorthal, the chief assessor, his gelatinous form quivering with disbelief. "They should have requested extraction by now. No species has ever completed this trial without at least one member withdrawing." His assistant, a being of pure energy named Lumi, pulsed with curiosity. "Perhaps we underestimated them. Their homeworld must truly be as harsh as the reports suggest." Back in the simulation, the humans were nearing the end of their ordeal. The landscape had morphed into a dense, steaming jungle. Vines hung from towering trees, and the air was thick with humidity. Marcus swatted at an insect-like creature buzzing around his head. "You know, this reminds me of that survival training we did in the Amazon. Remember that, Amelia?" Amelia grinned despite her exhaustion. "How could I forget? You nearly got us eaten by that anaconda." "Hey, I maintain that was a bonding experience," Marcus retorted good-naturedly. Dia, who was leading the way, suddenly called out, "I think I see the finish line." Sure enough, a shimmering portal had appeared in the distance. With renewed energy, they sprinted towards it, crossing the threshold together. As they stepped through, the jungle vanished, and they found themselves back in the assessment center. A group of alien beings stood before them, their expressions, on those who had discernible faces, a mix of shock and admiration. Thorthal floated forward, his gelatinous form rippling with what might have been excitement. "Incredible. Simply incredible. Not only did you complete the trial, but you did so in record time." The humans, still catching their breath, exchanged proud glances. Amelia spoke up, "Thank you. It was challenging, but nothing we couldn't handle. What's next?" The alien seemed taken aback by her eagerness. Lumi pulsed brightly. "You wish to continue. Most species require significant recovery time after this trial." Marcus shrugged, a grin on his face. "Well, we're warmed up now. Might as well keep going, right?" Thorthal's form rippled again, this time in what appeared to be amusement. "Very well. If you insist, we shall proceed to the next trial. But first, please allow us to collect some biometric data. Your performance has defied our expectations." As the aliens bustled around them, taking readings and muttering in astonishment, the three humans stood tall, proud, but not boastful. They had passed their first real test in this new galactic society, but they knew it was only the beginning. Dia voiced what they were all thinking. "I have a feeling they're going to be recalibrating their expectations of us after today." Amelia nodded, a determined glint in her eye. "Good. Let them see what humans are really capable of. We didn't come all this way to be underestimated." As they prepared for the next trial, word of their extraordinary performance was already spreading through the academy. The humans, it seemed, were full of surprises, and they were just getting started. The day continued with a series of increasingly complex and demanding trials. The humans were subjected to tests of strength in varying gravity conditions, agility courses that seemed to defy Euclidean geometry, and reflex challenges that pushed the boundaries of their perception. Throughout it all, Amelia, Marcus, and Dia not only persevered but excelled, their performance continually surpassing the expectations of their alien observers. Their success was not just in their physical capabilities, but in their adaptability, creativity, and unwavering teamwork. As the final trial concluded, the assessment center was abuzz with excitement and speculation. The humans had set new records in nearly every category, forcing the Academy to re-evaluate not just their understanding of human physiology, but their entire scale of physical assessment. Thorthal approached the tired but triumphant humans, his gelatinous form now a swirl of vibrant colors. Representatives of Earth, I must confess that we have never seen anything quite like this in all our years of conducting these assessments. Your species is remarkable." Amelia, her face flushed with exertion but beaming with pride, responded, "Thank you, Quetzalcoatl. We're honored to have participated in your trials. I hope our performance has helped to dispel some of the misconceptions about our species." Lumi pulsed forward, her energy form flickering with what seemed to be excitement. "Indeed it has. The data we've collected today will revolutionize our understanding of sapient physiology. The academic community will be buzzing about this for cycles to come." Marcus, always ready with a quip, grinned. "Well, we aim to please, and to surprise. Mostly to surprise, if I'm being honest." As they were led out of the assessment center, the humans could feel the shift in how they were perceived. The initial wariness and skepticism from their fellow students had been replaced by curiosity and respect. They had proven that humans were not just capable of surviving in the galactic community, but of thriving and excelling. Daya, ever the pragmatist, reminded her companions, "This is just the beginning, you know. We've impressed them with our physical abilities, but tomorrow we start our academic trials. That's where we'll really need to shine." Amelia nodded, her expression serious but determined. "You're right. We've shown them what our bodies can do. Now it's time to show them what our minds are capable of." Academic trials. Earthling ingenuity shines. The next morning, Amelia, Marcus, and Dia found themselves in a vast, circular chamber that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions at once. The walls shimmered with equations and formulae from 1,000 different scientific disciplines, some of which appeared to rewrite themselves in real time. "Welcome to the omniscient sphere," announced Professor 69, a being that appeared to be a sentient cloud of iridescent gas. "This is where we will evaluate your species' cognitive capabilities and scientific understanding." Marcus whistled low, no pressure or anything. Dwyer elbowed him gently. "Come on, this is our chance to show them that humans are more than just sturdy bodies. We've got the brains to match." Amelia nodded, her eyes scanning the room with a mix of awe and determination. "Exactly, let's do this." The first challenge materialized before them, a holographic representation of a star system on the brink of collapse. "Your task," Zix9 explained, "is to stabilize this system and prevent a catastrophic chain reaction that would destroy 3 inhabited worlds." The humans huddled together, quickly analyzing the problem. Amelia's astrophysics background came to the fore as she identified the key issues. "The main star is entering its red giant phase too rapidly. We need to slow that process." Marcus, with his engineering expertise, chimed in. "What if we construct a Dyson swarm? It could harvest excess energy and regulate the star's output." Dyer's eyes lit up. "Brilliant. And we could use the harvested energy to power mass drivers on the outer planets, adjusting their orbits to compensate for the changes in the star's gravitational field." As they worked, inputting calculations and adjusting variables, the alien observers watched in growing astonishment. The humans were not just solving the problem, they were approaching it with a creativity and intuition that defied expectation. "Remarkable," murmured 69. "They're utilizing principles from a dozen different scientific disciplines, some of which they shouldn't even be aware of." Within the allocated time, the humans had not only stabilized a star system, but had turned it into a thriving, self-sustaining stellar engine. As the simulation concluded, a ripple of impressed murmurs spread through the observing aliens. But there was no time to rest on their laurels. The next challenge appeared, a complex genetic engineering problem involving a species on the brink of extinction due to a devastating plague. Delia took the lead on this one, her background in biotechnology proving invaluable. "We need to approach this from multiple angles. Gene therapy to boost their immune systems, targeted antivirals, and possibly even symbiotic microorganisms to help fight the infection." Amelia and Marcus quickly caught on, contributing ideas and helping to refine the solution. As they worked, they drew upon not just their scientific knowledge, but also Earth's history of dealing with pandemics and ecological crises. Once again, their solution exceeded expectations. Not only did they save the species in question, but they also developed a comprehensive plan for restoring their ecosystem and preventing future outbreaks. Challenge after challenge came, each more difficult than the last. The humans faced problems in quantum mechanics, faster-than-light travel, psychohistory, and even branches of science they had never encountered before. Yet each time, they rose to the occasion, combining their knowledge, creativity, and uniquely human perspective to find solutions that often left their examiners speechless. As the final challenge concluded, Professor Zix9 floated before them, its gaseous form shimmering with what seemed to be excitement. In all my cycles as an educator, I have never seen anything quite like this. Your species' ability to synthesize information, to think laterally, and to approach problems from unexpected angles is extraordinary. Amelia, her mind still buzzing from the intense problem-solving session, smiled. Thank you, Professor. We're just glad we could demonstrate that humans have more to offer than physical resilience. Marcus nodded, a hint of pride in his voice. Our history is filled with examples of human ingenuity in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges. It's kind of our thing. Daya added, and we're eager to learn even more. The problems we face today opened our eyes to whole new realms of scientific possibility. Zix9's form rippled in what might have been a chuckle. Oh, I have no doubt that he will continue to surprise us. Your performance today has certainly earned you a place in our advanced studies programs. As they left the omniscient sphere, the humans could feel the shift in how they were perceived. The initial skepticism had given way to genuine respect and curiosity. They had proven that humans were not just physically capable, but intellectually formidable as well. You know, Marcus mused as they walked back to their quarters, I can't help but feel we're changing the course of galactic history here. Amelia nodded, her expression thoughtful. It's a big responsibility. We're not just representing ourselves, but all of humanity. Every challenge we face, every problem we solve, is shaping how our entire species will be viewed in the galactic community. Daya's eyes sparkled with excitement, and just think of what we'll be able to bring back to Earth. The scientific advancements we're being exposed to here could revolutionize life back home. As they discussed the day's events, none of them noticed the growing crowd of alien students following at a respectful distance, whispering among themselves in awe. The humans had become the talk of the academy, their unprecedented success in both physical and academic trials sending shockwaves through the student body. Little did they know that their performance was causing even greater ripples beyond the Academy's walls. In the highest echelons of the Galactic Concordat, urgent meetings were being called. The humans, it seemed, were far more than anyone had bargained for. Their rapid success was forcing a revaluation of humanity's place in the galactic order. As night fell on Nexus Prime, Amelia, Marcus, and Dia stood on the balcony of their quarters, gazing up at the star-filled sky. Despite their exhaustion, there was a sense of exhilaration in the air. You know, Amelia said softly, when I was a little girl dreaming of the stars, I never imagined anything like this. Marcus chuckled. Yeah, who would have thought that we'd end up being the aliens that aliens talk about? Daya leaned on the railing, her eyes reflecting the starlight. We've come so far, but I can't shake the feeling that this is just the beginning. Something tells me the real challenges are yet to come. As if in response to her words, a notification chimed on their communication devices. It was a message from the Academy administration. In light of recent developments, all students are required to attend a special assembly tomorrow morning. Attendance is mandatory. The three humans exchanged glances, a mix of curiosity and apprehension in their eyes. Whatever was coming, they would face it together, ready to show the galaxy once again what humans were truly capable of. Cultural exchange, misunderstandings, and revelations. The grand amphitheater of the Galactic Concordat Academy was abuzz with activity as students from 1,000 worlds filed in. At the center of attention, trying their best not to fidget under the collective gaze of so many alien eyes, stood Amelia, Marcus, and Dia. Chancellor Zelo Vex, a being that seemed to be composed of living crystal, took the stage. Their faceted body refracted light in mesmerizing patterns as they spoke, their voice resonating through the chamber. Esteemed students and faculty, we have called this assembly to address recent events that have challenged our preconceptions. The Chancellor's gaze settled on the humans. The arrival of our Terran delegates has prompted us to reconsider many of our long-held beliefs about emergent species. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Amelia felt a bead of sweat form on her brow. This was it, the moment that would define humanity's place in the galactic community. Chancellor Zilovex continued, "In light of their extraordinary performance in both physical and academic trials, we have decided to accelerate their integration into our advanced programs. Furthermore, we believe there is much we can learn from them." The murmur grew louder, a mix of excitement and apprehension. Suddenly, a voice cut through the noise. "But Chancellor, how can we trust them? Their capabilities make them a potential threat." The speaker was Crix, a student from a high-gravity world known for its warrior culture. His exoskeleton gleamed menacingly as he stood, pointing an accusing appendage at the humans. Before the Chancellor could respond, Marcus stepped forward. His voice was calm, but there was an edge of steel to it. "With all due respect, Chris, capability doesn't equate to threat. We came here to learn and to share, not to dominate." Dwyer nodded, adding, "Our history is filled with examples of cooperation leading to greater achievements than conflict ever could. We hope to continue that tradition here, on a galactic scale." Amelia stepped up beside her companions. "We understand your concerns. Humanity is new to the galactic stage, and the unknown can be frightening. But we ask you to judge us by our actions, not your fears." The amphitheater fell silent, the aliens seemingly taken aback by the humans' eloquence and sincerity. Chancellor Zilovex's crystalline form shimmered with what might have been approval. "Well said, Terran delegates. Let this be a lesson to us all about the dangers of assumption and the value of open dialogue." The tension in the room began to dissipate, replaced by a cautious curiosity. As the assembly concluded, students began to approach the humans, their initial wariness giving way to genuine interest. A group of bioluminescent beings floated up to them, their tendrils pulsing with gentle light. One of them spoke, its voice a melodious hum. "We were wondering, could you tell us more about Earth? About your cultures and customs?" Marcus grinned, always eager to share stories. "Well, Earth is a planet of incredible diversity. We have thousands of cultures, each with its own unique traditions and perspectives." As they began to explain concepts like music, sports, and even things as simple as weather, they were met with a mix of fascination and confusion from their alien audience. "Wait," interrupted a being that looked like a sentient cloud of gas. "You mean your planet's climate changes, randomly, and you just adapt to it?" Dyer chuckled. "Pretty much. We've learned to be flexible. It's part of what makes us who we are." The conversations continued late into the night, with the humans fielding questions on everything from Earth's ecosystems to human relationships. They found themselves explaining concepts they had always taken for granted, gaining a new appreciation for their own world in the process. As they taught, they also learned about the cultures and customs of their alien classmates. They heard stories of worlds where time flowed backwards, of civilizations that communicated solely through color changes, and of beings that existed simultaneously in multiple dimensions. Amelia found herself deep in conversation with a group of energy beings, trying to explain the concept of sleep. "So you're saying," one of them pulsed incredulously, "that humans voluntarily enter a state of unconsciousness for a third of their day, and you dream?" "That's right," Amelia nodded, realizing how strange it must sound. "It's essential for our mental and physical health. And dreams, well, they're like stories our minds create while we sleep." The energy beings vibrated with excitement. "Fascinating. We have nothing analogous in our existence. This dreaming sounds like a form of natural virtual reality." Meanwhile, Marcus was attempting to demonstrate various Earth sports to a group of multi-limbed aliens. His improvised game of soccer, using a holographically projected ball, led to a hilarious scene of tentacles and appendages flailing about, punctuated by bursts of alien laughter. Daya found herself explaining the concept of music to a species that perceived sound as color. Using a holographic interface, she managed to show them Beethoven's Fifth Symphony as a stunning visual display, leaving her audience in awe. As the night wore on, the initial barriers of misunderstanding began to crumble. The aliens started to see the humans not as potential threats, but as fascinating beings with a unique perspective to offer. However, not everyone was convinced. Chris and a small group of like-minded students watched from the sidelines, their postures rigid with suspicion. It was clear that while progress had been made, challenges still lay ahead. As the humans finally retired to their quarters, exhausted but exhilarated, they reflected on the day's events. "You know," Amelia mused, "I think we might have made some real progress today." Marcus nodded, a thoughtful expression on his face. It's amazing how much we take for granted about our own world. Trying to explain it to others, it's like seeing everything with fresh eyes. Daya yawned, stretching her arms above her head. And we've only scratched the surface. There's so much more to learn, so much more to share. As they prepared for bed, a notification chimed on their communication devices. It was a message from Chancellor Zilovex. "Your performance continues to impress. Tomorrow, you'll join a special project team. Prepare yourselves. The real work begins now." The three humans exchanged glances, a mix of excitement and determination in their eyes. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they were ready to face them, armed with their unique human perspective and the growing understanding between species. As they drifted off to sleep, each of them couldn't help but wonder what new adventures awaited them in the vast, strange, wonderful universe they were just beginning to explore. The Galactic Tournament, humans enter the arena. The following weeks passed in a blur of intense study, groundbreaking projects, and continued cultural exchange. Amelia, Marcus, and Dia found themselves at the forefront of several interdisciplinary teams, their unique human perspective proving invaluable in solving complex galactic problems. However, their success had not gone unnoticed, and not all attention was positive. Chris and his followers continued to view the humans with suspicion, their whispers of discontent growing louder with each passing day. It was against this backdrop of tension and achievement that Chancellor Zilovex made a startling announcement. "Esteemed students," the Chancellor's crystalline form shimmered as they addressed the assembled crowd. "In light of recent events, the Galactic Concordat has decided to revive an ancient tradition, the Galactic Tournament of Excellence." A ripple of excitement spread through the alien students. Amelia leaned towards Marcus, whispering, "Any idea what that is?" Before Marcus could respond, the Chancellor continued, "This tournament will test participants in various disciplines, physical, mental, and ethical. It is a chance to showcase the best each species has to offer." Daya's eyes widened. Sounds like the galactic version of the Olympics, but with brains and morals thrown in. Chancellor Zilovex's gaze settled on the humans. "As our newest members, the Terran delegates are cordially invited to participate. This will be an opportunity to further demonstrate your species' capabilities on a galactic stage." As the assembly dispersed, buzzing with excitement, the humans huddled together. "Well," Marcus said, a mix of excitement and apprehension in his voice, "looks like we're about to compete in the Space Olympics. No pressure or anything." Amelia nodded, her expression determined. "This is bigger than just us now. We're representing all of humanity. We have to give it our all." Daya grinned, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "Think of the advancements we could bring back to Earth if we do well. This could change everything." As they began to prepare for the tournament, they found unexpected allies. Many of their alien classmates, impressed by the humans' previous performances and intrigued by their unique perspectives, offered to help them train. Zix9, the gaseous professor, volunteered to tutor them in advanced xenosciences. "Your species has a remarkable ability to think outside conventional parameters," they said, their forms shimmering with what might have been pride. "We shall hone this skill to perfection." Even Sorthal, the gelatinous physical instructor, offered specialized training. "Your endurance is impressive, but there's always room for improvement," they gurgled enthusiastically. The days leading up to the tournament were a whirlwind of preparation. The humans pushed themselves to their limits and beyond, absorbing knowledge at an unprecedented rate and honing their physical skills to peak performance. Finally, the day of the tournament arrived. The arena was a marvel of engineering, a massive structure that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Contestants from across the galaxy had gathered, each species confident in their own unique strengths. The first event was a test of physical prowess, a grueling obstacle course that twisted through various simulated environments. As Amelia took her place at the starting line, she couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. This was what humans were made for: adapting, enduring, overcoming. The signal was given, and they were off. Amelia charged forward, her body moving with a grace and power that left many alien spectators in awe. She swam through gravity wells, scaled sheer cliffs of ice, and navigated through a maze of energy fields that crackled and sparked around her. As she crossed the finish line, lungs burning but spirits soaring, the crowd erupted in cheers. She had not only completed the course, but had set a new record, outperforming even species specifically evolved for harsh environments. Marcus was up next, facing a test of engineering and problem-solving. He was presented with a malfunctioning terraforming device and given a time limit to not only repair it, but improve its efficiency. His hands moved with sure confidence, his mind racing as he incorporated principles from a dozen different scientific disciplines. When time was called, Marcus had not only repaired the device, but had increased its output by 200%, introducing innovations that left the judges speechless. Dia's challenge was perhaps the most daunting, a test of ethical decision-making in complex galactic scenarios. She was presented with a series of moral dilemmas that would have stumped even the most experienced diplomats. Drawing on humanity's long history of philosophical thought and her own keen insight, Dia navigated the ethical minefield with grace and wisdom. Her solutions, balancing pragmatism with compassion, earned her top marks and the respect of even the most skeptical observers. As the tournament progressed, the humans continued to excel, their performances defying expectations at every turn. They showcased not just their physical and mental capabilities, but also their creativity, adaptability, and indomitable spirit. However, their success did not go unchallenged. Chris and his allies, seeing the humans as a threat to their own species' standing, began to protest. They claimed that the humans must be using some form of hidden technology or illicit enhancements to achieve their impossible feats. The accusations came to a head during the final event, a team challenge that required representatives from different species to work together to solve a complex, multifaceted problem. As Amelia, Marcus, and Dia took their places alongside their alien teammates, Crix stepped forward, his exoskeleton gleaming menacingly. "I challenge the humans' right to participate," he declared, his voice ringing through the arena. "They are an unknown variable, a potential threat to galactic stability. How can we trust that they are competing fairly?" A hush fell over the crowd. The humans exchanged glances, knowing that this moment could define humanity's place in the galactic community for generations to come. Amelia stepped forward, her voice steady and clear. "We understand your concerns, Crix. We are new to your galactic society, and the unknown can be frightening. But we have come here in peace, with open hearts and minds, ready to learn and to contribute." Marcus joined her. "We've participated in every event openly and honestly. Our abilities are not the result of technology or enhancements, but of millions of years of evolution on a challenging world, and thousands of years of human innovation and perseverance." Daya completed the trio. We invite any and all scrutiny of our methods. We have nothing to hide and everything to share. Our strength lies not in deception, but in our diversity, our adaptability, and our unwavering determination to overcome any obstacle. Their words hung in the air, powerful in their sincerity. The crowd murmured, many nodding in agreement. Chancellor Zilovec stepped forward, their crystalline form glowing with an inner light. The humans have proven themselves time and again since their arrival. Their participation in this tournament has been nothing short of exemplary. The challenge is overruled. As Kritz retreated, visibly fuming, the final event began. The humans, working seamlessly with their alien teammates, faced the challenge with the same spirit that had carried their species from stone tools to the stars. In the end, their team's solution was nothing short of revolutionary, combining the unique strengths of each species into a harmonious whole that was greater than the sum of its parts. As the Galactic Tournament of Excellence came to a close, with the humans and their teammates standing victorious, it was clear that a new chapter in galactic history had begun. Humanity had not just earned its place among the stars, it had shown the entire galaxy the true meaning of human potential. The adventure was far from over, but for Amelia, Marcus, and Dia, this was more than just a victory. It was a promise of a brighter future for humanity and for the entire galactic community. A new era, reshaping galactic perspectives. The aftermath of the Galactic Tournament of Excellence sent ripples across the cosmic community. News of the humans' extraordinary performance spread faster than light, reaching the farthest corners of known space. Amelia, Marcus, and Dia found themselves at the center of a galactic sensation, their names becoming synonymous with the potential of emerging species. Chancellor Zilovec called for a special convocation of the Galactic Concordat. The Grand Chamber, usually reserved for matters of utmost importance, was filled to capacity with representatives from thousands of worlds. As the human trio entered, a hush fell over the assembly. They stood tall, proud but humble, aware of the weight of responsibility on their shoulders. The Chancellor's crystalline form shimmered as they spoke. Esteemed colleagues, we stand at a crossroads in our shared history. The arrival of the humans and their subsequent achievements have forced us to confront our own biases and limitations. A murmur rippled through the crowd. The Chancellor continued, "We have long prided ourselves on our advanced civilizations, our technological marvels, and our enlightened philosophies. Yet, these newcomers from a world we dismissed as primitive have shown us that there is still much to learn." Amelia stepped forward, her voice clear and confident. "Chancellor, esteemed members of the Concordat, we are deeply honored by your words. We came here not to challenge or to prove superiority, but to join a community of diverse beings, each with their own unique strengths and perspectives." Marcus nodded, adding, "Our achievements are not just our own. They're built on the foundation of countless generations of humans who dared to dream, to innovate, and to push beyond their limits." Daya completed their statement, "And now, we hope to contribute to a new era of galactic cooperation, one where the strengths of each species complement each other, where diversity is celebrated, and where we face the challenges of the universe together." Their words resonated through the chamber, met with approving nods and murmurs. Even Crix, standing with his delegation, seemed less hostile, a grudging respect visible in his posture. Chancellor Zilovex's form pulsed with what could only be described as excitement. "Indeed, and it is with this spirit that I propose a bold new initiative, the creation of a galactic exchange program, with Earth as a founding member." The announcement was met with a mixture of surprise and enthusiasm. The Chancellor elaborated, "This program will facilitate the exchange of knowledge, culture, and individuals between our worlds. It will be a bridge between species, fostering understanding and cooperation on an unprecedented scale." The proposal was met with overwhelming approval. As the details were discussed, it became clear that this was more than just a diplomatic gesture. It was the beginning of a new chapter in galactic history. In the weeks that followed, preparations for the exchange program began in earnest. The humans found themselves at the forefront of these efforts, their unique experiences making them invaluable in bridging the gap between Earth and the wider galactic community. Amelia worked tirelessly on developing curricula that would introduce humans to advanced alien sciences, while also showcasing Earth's scientific achievements. Imagine, she said during one planning session, human medical students learning alien healing techniques, while alien students study the intricacies of human immunology. The potential for advancement is staggering. Marcus focused on cultural exchange initiatives. He organized virtual reality tours of Earth's most breathtaking locations and worked on translating human art and literature for alien audiences. Our diversity is our strength, he often said. By sharing our myriad cultures, we can foster a deeper understanding between species. Delia, with her diplomatic skills, became a key figure in navigating the complex political landscape of interspecies relations. She worked on drafting protocols for the exchange program, ensuring that the rights and safety of all participants would be protected. This isn't just about scientific or cultural exchange, she reminded her colleagues. It's about building trust and mutual respect across the galaxy. As news of the exchange program reached Earth, it was met with a mix of excitement and trepidation. The prospect of alien visitors and the opportunity for humans to travel to distant worlds sparked a global conversation about humanity's place in the cosmos. Governments scrambled to prepare, educational institutions revamped their curricula, and people from all walks of life began to see themselves as citizens not just of Earth, but of a vast, diverse galactic community. The day finally arrived when the first group of alien exchange students was set to land on Earth. Amelia, Marcus, and Dia stood at the designated landing site, a mixture of pride and nervousness coursing through them. As the sleek alien craft descended from the sky, touching down on Earth's soil, Amelia turned to her companions. "You know," she said, her voice thick with emotion, "when we first left Earth, I never imagined it would lead to this." Marcus nodded, a grin spreading across his face. "We went looking for our place among the stars and ended up bringing the stars to our doorstep." Dia watched as the ship's doors began to open. "This is just the beginning," she said softly. "Who knows what wonders await us, what challenges we'll face together." As the alien visitors took their first steps on Earth, greeted by a welcoming committee of humans from all nations, it was clear that a new era had truly begun. Humanity had not just found its place in the galactic community, it had helped to reshape it, opening doors to possibilities that were once thought impossible. The story of Amelia, Marcus, and Dia, the first humans to attend the Galactic Concordat Academy, had become legend. But it was more than just a tale of individual achievement. It was a testament to the indomitable human spirit, to the power of diversity and cooperation, and to the endless potential that exists when different worlds and species come together in pursuit of knowledge and understanding. As Earth embraced its new role in the galactic community, the future stretched out before them, vast and full of promise. The adventure that had begun with 3 humans stepping into an alien academy had transformed into humanity's greatest journey yet, a journey that would take them beyond the stars and into a future brighter than they had ever dared to imagine. The end of this chapter was just the beginning of a grand cosmic odyssey, with humanity ready to face whatever challenges and wonders the universe had in store.